Home to Fiat, Turin prided itself on being Italy's manufacturing powerhouse. But by the 1980s, global competition put the brakes on the city's economy. Once booming factory districts went quiet, and thousands lost their jobs. Now, a new generation is looking to spark life into these idle urban spaces. Ground zero for this sea change is Reggio Parco, a working-class neighborhood with vacant workshops and warehouses where many see opportunity.
This area is different from others in the city, especially because the diversity in architecture corresponds to a diversity in the population. So you have different people with different needs and different function and different styles in architecture, and this is something we really like. The industrial heritage here left a very strong trace, so when you walk around the neighborhood you can see the smokestacks all around. It's like walking in the past because industry was very important here in Turin and everybody's trying to reinvent this heritage somehow.
Meloni works with fellow architects on Casa Zera to find creative ways to transform the area's existing stock of abandoned buildings into housing. All around Reggio Parco, loft apartments now sprout up in former factories, and creative industries, from graphic designers to artists, are setting up shop. An early pioneer who saw promise in the area is BasicNet, a company specializing in sportswear and fashion that runs multi-use development, Basic Village.
When we moved in, this was considered a very dangerous area of Torino. It was almost the Bronx of Torino. No company was doing business around here, and now this area is becoming more and more trendy. The idea of calling the building Basic Village is exactly the idea to take people together. We opened the spaces downstairs so that people could aggregate. So there's a shop, there's a bar, there's a restaurant, there's a supermarket, so that people can live this building as an open place, as a village, exactly as the name says.
The tree-lined streets in Reggio Parco gives it the feel of a peaceful hamlet at times. One of the neighborhood's links to the past are a handful of long-established cafes and sweet shops, including the award-winning chocolate maker, Guido Gobino. These places continue to thrive next to new businesses pouring into the area. And while many trades and workshops are still dormant, newcomers like Pi Bikery, a popular brunch hangout that makes and repairs bicycles, look to revive old traditions.
This place is an homage to the old bike shops that were around this area of Turin, in which you could actually smell bicycles because every second shop was a bike shop. Turin in the 70s was made out of little shops in which people used to work on their passions. This area of Turin is a small town in which everyone knows each other, everyone's friends. I think that we are building a community because it started out as a meeting point for friends, and now it became already a meeting point for the whole neighborhood, and also a lot of people from outside is coming because they like the vibe that is spreading out here.
A palpable shift in gears is underway in Reggio Parco. On the neighborhood's outskirts, coffee roaster Lavazza is building its new headquarters, and the new Einaudi campus sits on the district's southern border, next to the Dora River that feeds into the Po. An injection of young faces has rejuvenated commerce as businesses cater to their needs. La Leo, an eatery opened this year by a local wine critic, does creative panini and homemade soups. For graphic designer Luca Ballarini, who runs his branding agency Bellissimo out of a former luggage factory, the area's potential is still largely untapped.
Architecturally speaking, it's completely different to all the other part of the city. Everything could be transformed into something else. Here you can still build a different part of the city. This is a huge benefit you get from this area, which is like not completed. So you have the urge also to contribute yourself.
Factories once churning out textiles or tires for Fiat have been reclaimed by a new class of workers eager to both live and work in Reggio Parco. This neglected industrial quarter that stretches out in the city's northeast is now home to factories manufacturing ideas and designs.
We have the university, we have new shops, we have new restaurants, we have architectural practices, and we have art galleries because we have so much green, because you can go out for a run or go out for a great dinner. you can just feel more inspired because it's not the neighborhood that everybody wants to be in right now. It will be, I'm sure about that.
Reggio Parco's newfound purpose is noteworthy in that it hasn't wiped away signs of the neighborhood's past. Instead of runaway development, there's been a thoughtful reuse of space that pays respect to the area's industrial legacy. It offers a blueprint for how cities in the future can retain the character and spirit of a place while still looking ahead. For Monocle, in Turin, I'm Ivan Carvalho.